What is going on, guys? Slevtek here, and it is an early morning podcast. I got my boy ImSZND with me. How you doing, bro? What's going on, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
I love it, bro. What's your day look like so far? For everybody out there, it is currently 7:36 a.m. for me and 8:36 for you, ImSZND?
Yep.
Yeah, your central time.
I work from home, so once this is done, I'm just gonna jump into some work, find some time to game in between, and kind of do that on and off.
I got you, bro. And so with work, do you work at your game station right here, or do you have another office room? Keep it simple.
I got dual setups, so one work on one side, game on the other.
Okay, nice. And what do you do for work? I know you can't go into too many specifics.
I'm in software analytics for one of the 4 major computer companies.
Okay, nice. So what is kind of software analytics as a kind of a whole? What does that kind of mean?
It's more around looking at the device health. Is the device the right device for that user over the life of 3-4 years? How's it performing? And then on top of that, security analytics. That the device endpoint itself is the most vulnerable. So even with all your software and stuff, it's 54% chance you're still going to get attacked. So it's not an if, it's a when. And so we do container isolation and stuff around that. So because of the security piece of it, that's why I don't really go too much. But
yeah, dude, I don't even know half the stuff you said. I'm gonna be completely honest, but it's all good, man. That's why
make the computer safe. Make sure that it's the right one for you for the next few years.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that dumbed down version. Oh man, hey, that's why there's smarter people out there in the world, ladies and gentlemen. But dude, how did you kind of get into video games, or have you kind of always been a little nerdy? Technologically inclined, if you will, however you want to put it.
Let's start with the why I'm called ImSZND is because I used to on Blackout, for example, I was called Where You Going, because when I'd kill people, it'd say Where You Going and then their name in the kill feed. So I thought that was funny. So I would do that, but all the streamers could not say Where You Going in a stream. That is a very long thing to say. So that was I need something that's a simple one-word thing. Man, I've been gaming. I'm 37, so I've been gaming since Atari, Nintendo, Duck Hunt.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean, so I'm seasoned, right? I'm old.
Yeah. Okay. That's where it kind of comes from. That's where it stems.
That's where it comes from.
Dude, I like that.
That's my first.
Yeah.
And the real first gun game would be the standard GoldenEye. Everybody knows that.
Ooh, that's what I grew up on. I was still a little too young for GoldenEye, but my brother was 8 years older than me, so he had the 64, and I would just play that religiously.
Paintball codes, man, you gotta turn that on.
Dude, the big heads.
You do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man, dude, I love playing as Odd Job. The little you just run around as the little man. It was so hard to get a headshot on you. Oh, man.
A little race satellite thing.
Oh, do you know that satellite map even from the movie? That's actually the observatory in Puerto Rico, believe it or not. I've been there a million times. Yeah, I'm half Puerto Rican, so. Since
we're on the topic of Bond, there's a company who one of the founders owners for the U.S. side of an Italian company called I think it's Arsenal. It's the name of the gun company. They made the double-barreled 1911. That's in one of the new James Bonds.
Really?
Give me 1 second. I think I have a ticket for it.
Oh, that's gonna be what's up. Excuse me.
Just so I'm not full of shit.
No, you're good, man.
This was the it's Arsenal Firearms. This is the premiere ticket.
Okay.
We actually got to go shoot that actual gun.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a double barrel 1911.
Does it got a dual mag in it, or how does that?
It's dual mag with a little divider.
Yeah.
No practical use whatsoever. When you actually try to put the magazine in, you got to make sure it doesn't pinch because it's floppy and it's literally 2 triggers and it's fun.
I'm sure it is, but how you need a long finger to ding, ding, ding.
It's massive. You got 2 bullets going off. It's literally like shooting the 725, but a Deagle style.
And you gotta shoot it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's insane. But
the serial number on it is literally Bond 007, so that's why I brought that up.
Really? That was the serial number? Bond 007. That's sick. Dude, I'm a huge Bond fan. Like, huge Bond fan.
So Spectre was the movie.
Oh, it was for Spectre. So that must have been a while ago.
Batista's gun that he's running.
Yeah. Okay. And then the new one, it's No Time to Die. Is the new one coming out, right?
I think.
Yeah.
I've only seen one preview for it. It looks pretty dope though.
Dude, I know. I just any kind of Bond movie I get hyped about because that's my childhood. I think that's honestly what sparked first person shooters for me was GoldenEye, and then I would watch like every single probably week the Bond movies and whatnot with Sean Connery. Everybody,
that's old
man.
Bond,
yeah. But then like the Pierce Brosnan was like my generation,
and
things like that. But dude, I love Bond. You know, I just love how like suave he is. You know, he's always very like stoic, which I really like.
Yeah, I think Pierce Brosnan was better the ladies' man of the Bond side, but the action side now is better.
Oh, 100%. It's almost getting to the borderline, though. Well, it's always been, like, impractical.
What more can you do, yeah.
But there's not much to say about that.
It's kind of like Mission Impossible, right? How many more are impossible, right?
Right? And how old can Tom Cruise get doing these impossible missions?
Let's talk about that for a second. I love Top Gun. Like, my growing up, that was sorry about that.
Very good.
That is literally the movie that I grew up on, and like half of my childhood probably was revolved around that movie. Seeing him fly that so old just is not the same for Top Gun 2.
Yeah, when did that movie come out?
This year.
Oh, it's coming out this year. Yeah, dude, I think
May.
I think it's a ploy for just some good money, you know. But
man, I hope they don't ruin it.
I mean, God, I think in my personal opinion, I could be completely wrong. It could be a great movie, but I think that they should have just left that one in the archives as a great classic, you know. Yeah. But again, I mean, we could be proved wrong, and it would be amazing if it was just as good as the first one. Is it gonna be? I don't think so, but
it's a tough stretch, man.
But it'll be nostalgic for sure, at least. You know, I've seen it, but I saw it like when it was already kind of past its release date, you know. But how'd you get into video games, like first person shooters? You said you were in 007. Did you, like, after 007, did you kind of play every game kind of growing up, or were you more inclined to like shooters, or how did that kind of work?
Pretty much two genres. It was either shooters or football, college football. I loved NCAA football until they took that away from us. So
okay.
When
did they take that away? That wasn't
14 was the last season.
Really? I didn't even notice that, man. I love playing like those Madden games when I was younger.
I feel really
do Hail Marys.
Like I was the stupid one who went and traded in the game for another game, thinking, oh yeah, the next one will come out, and then it all happened, and no, it did not come back out. And now I guess people still like mod the seasons or whatever, like the rosters, so that they're current, so to speak, and they just keep playing 2014 over and over and over.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh? Why? Do you know why they stopped it or anything like that?
Lawsuit in California, players' rights, things like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, monetization. So I think they are going to bring it back. I think the rumor is around 2023, but
well, that'll be kind of cool. 9 years later. Jesus.
Seasoned, right?
There you go, bro. I think 2014. What was going on in 2014? That was like that Black Ops.
Was that around Affinity? I think that was around Advanced Warfare.
AW. Dude, that's when I stopped playing Call of Duty. I wasn't a huge fan of the exosuits.
Yeah, you've been playing that one season.
COD 4, right?
COD 1.
PC COD?
Yeah, I mean, I go back to.
All right, you old man. Damn.
I go back to. Instead of World of Warcraft, it was just Warcraft.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And then StarCraft and all those.
Yeah, 2014 Advanced Warfare. Jeez. I can't believe I remember that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Sorry, this isn't family friendly.
No, man, this is a conversation. So however you want to talk is however you want to talk. But okay, so let's go through. I don't think I've talked to somebody who's played like the original Call of Duty. How was that?
Man, I can't remember if it was like World at War, not like the new World War II one, but like the first.
Yeah. The one right after COD 4.
There was tanks. Like I hate tanks in the current one.
Oh,
But there used to be a tank, and there used to be this dope ass. I can't remember the game or the map, but I can remember the game mode. There was this dope ass capture the flag, and you had this bridge across, and you literally had 2 flags. But
it was a large map, wasn't it?
But you had these Jeeps that you would drive around with the flag, and it was so fun. Either A, trying to run with the flag, or B, chase the guys.
I gotta look that up now because that's gonna.
But that was a dope game mode. So now when I look back and they're like, "Oh, we're introducing tanks for the first time," not really.
Not really, yeah. And how the tanks work though, it was great because they were overpowered to a degree, but
easy
then
to destroy though.
You could easily destroy them. You know, it was very balanced in that.
Not
way.
Like this,
World at War maps. Let me. I need just my curiosity bug me on. We had upheaval, I think is what it is. Pretty sure it was upheaval.
Modern Warfare G based on the Wrangler. No, it's not
upheaval. Station was a great.
Maybe it was 04. What was the 04 game? 04, 07.
The Downfall? No. Dude, these are bringing me back, man. Remember Dome? Dome was amazing. Courtyard was that Japanese one. Trojan.
Let's look at the list of Call of Duties here. Because I know the game style. Let's see.
Reach was a good one.
Was it United Offensive? Yeah, that's the one.
Where at?
Call of Duty United Offensive. It even has a picture of a tank on the front of it.
Huh.
So it's the second Call of Duty that came out.
Oh, I got you. I was talking about like World at War though had that map though that it had that big train kind of coming through it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was though. There's Trinity.
There's so many of these.
Deep.
Man, you are bringing me back. These are. I can't even remember half these until just now.
I know, right? Like I remember Airfield was like one of my favorite maps now, and I haven't totally forgot about it. But there's a bunch of stuff.
Like Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. Like never even remember that.
Yeah, dude. God, what do you think about like the new Call of Duties and where they're at right now? Because like if we go
Crossroads.
No, CeeLo. CeeLo was what it was. Look at CeeLo for World at War. I think that's the one that you were talking about. It had like the bridges and the train tracks going through it.
How do you spell CeeLo?
SEELOW. That's the one that I was thinking of with the tanks that would go underneath the bridges, and then it was just there's one that spawned on either side. It was crazy. That was one of my favorite maps as well because it was so long and you could snipe really well with it.
Yeah,
2 choke points.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. That is a good sniping one though.
Yeah, I love that. And there was the 2 tanks that would spawn in, and it was just like you avoided those at all costs if you were on the ground. Oh man!
But I've always been a sniper, so that's always been good for me.
You have, man?
Yeah.
Dude, that's my forte. I haven't always been, but I'd say World War or Modern Warfare 2 is where I really started to like quick scope and get into it because it's just a blast.
We're definitely at a crossroads, like you said, though, because I mean, look at the streams. You've still got people living on Black Ops, like exclusively on Black Ops.
Yeah.
We're what, almost a year and a half later?
Well, dude, like there's just nothing else out there that can contest with a battle royale that's in like a Call of Duty format, you know?
Well, it's not just that's the game style, it's the flow. Like I went from Blackout, and when I went into Modern Warfare, I got dumped on the beta because I was just way too aggressive. Like I'm used to running out in the open, jumping around, sliding, and you do that in Modern Warfare, and you're gonna get shot.
Yeah, the TTK
because they can hear you
so like,
and you can hear everything. So like you just can't do that.
And there's a lot more vantage points to be able to get shot from. So there's no way that you can go out into the open because there's 6 different positions you can get like put down at.
But I think Warzone's gonna bring it back.
I think so too. Just because like the battle royale essence, you know, is like there's multiple play styles to that. You know, of course it's gonna be a little bit more slower paced and kind of campy, but that's how battle royales initially are, anyways. and we find different play styles to work with that. But the zone or the gas or whatever you want to call it is going to force people out into the open. You know, so no matter what, you're gonna have that. You know, you're gonna be able to have those open battles and those gunfights and whatnot.
Okay, don't shoot me, Activision. I was brought into the lobby by somebody else, so it's not my fault.
Oh, you got in?
Yeah, I get to play the training lobby.
What's up with that?
So
talk to me.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. You basically when it says like, have you ever seen the Charlie Intel stuff where they get the screen capture of like the UAV stuff? So you know, like the kill streaks, those are there, but the weapon drop is basically whatever loadout you set up in the preloading. So I went in there and I set up like, oh, I want a sniper rifle and I want this gun and I want.
Can you put on attachments and stuff like that?
Specialist bonus.
So you get like a full loadout, like a multiplayer loadout.
Full loadout. And so when you drop, you can get that favorite class of yours to run. So you can basically have an in-game class set up.
So you drop with it, or do you have to like have like a care package that pops?
It only let me in the training, so I don't know. I don't know about the drop. I just know that you can get a care package or buy with the plunder that you get. So when you kill people or do things, you make money.
Yeah.
And then you can go buy stuff.
Have you heard of Escape from Tarkov?
I've watched it. Yeah.
You have? That's what it feels like. It's tying in a couple of aspects.
Not as complicated.
Not as complicated, but it's throwing in like a currency or an economy aspect to it, which I think could be really, really cool if done correctly with Call of Duty.
I think what they did was with Blackout, you had basically two things you could do. You could either go get your paint cans or you could win the game, right?
Yeah.
That's basically it.
And then they added merits a little bit later.
Yeah.
Or the challenges.
But I mean, you either won or you lost or you were doing something along those lines. Now, within this mode, even if you're losing or you don't win the game,
you can extract like an ATM.
You can extract an ATM. So you still got something to keep people engaged, even if they're not the best at the game, right?
But what does the plunder do? I know you can exchange it for experience.
I don't know outside of that yet.
But there's an economy to it now, though. Like the plunder is going to be like the currency of this game.
I don't know if you can like take a certain amount into the game or if you start with 0, because it wouldn't let you. It would literally just cycle. It would say you completed the training lobby and it was a little training course.
Yeah.
And then it would say, do you want to do trios? And then you hit it and then it puts you back into training again. So it wouldn't let you actually into the game.
Yeah, no, that's.
I don't know beyond that, but you know, when people die, you can buy them back.
Yeah,
there's an actual amount for that.
How I feel it. What do you mean you can buy them back?
So like,
say you can like bring them back in the game. They go to the gulag.
Say you and I are running a duo. You die, and I have money, and I hit a little supply, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go buy you back. I can bring you back in the game.
Dude, I wonder.
That's gonna be interesting.
I wonder how realistic it's going to be. Like, will you automatically get plunder if you kill someone, or do you have to loot that body?
Loot it, I don't know.
And then get their plunder.
I think you're going to see a lot of people dying face down. Because one, you actually have to navigate. It's not as simple. You know, you grab everything and go. You have, oh, am I going to buy this? Am I going to take that? How much slots do I have? Your armor's different. It's not like a standard level 3. You have like plates, like 3 of them. So you get a plate 1, level 2, level 3.
You just add on to it? Okay. Then I know that there's like 3 helmets. Level 1 does a certain amount of damage. Level 2 does a certain amount of damage reduction. But then the level 3 does the same amount as level 2 does. But it gives you a face plate, which essentially just blocks like concussions or reduces concussions and flash like effects.
They didn't have those in the training, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's just what I've kind of heard. So like, I've stayed up to date on it. Yeah,
but I haven't seen it.
I've stayed up to date on it. I'm not so like, I don't like talking about it on stream because everybody and their mother is talking about it and has looked at the leaks. I'm just like, dude, this isn't new information at this point. You know, like,
did you see that Activision went after the guy on Reddit?
Yeah, and it's suing him. You know,
that's
to like
the first get the name. I've never seen that.
God, dude, Carbon made a great point or made a great video. I think he overdid it a little bit. Because like he was just pissed that he got copyright striked. But there was an interview with I think like the head of marketing or somebody from Activision from when Modern Warfare 3 released, and he was talking about how there were leaks that came out about 9 months before the game released. You know, and everybody was like in a scuttle because like everybody was worried that it was gonna blow like the release of the game because they were investing so much money into like this big epic release, you know, and somebody comes in and leaks all this information. They thought it was gonna hinder it. And what he said was he had like a big boardroom meeting with everybody, all the big wigs that were important, like the big managers and whatnot, project managers, and said like, look, like we could do this one of two ways. We can like attack the fans who are essentially getting hyped about this, you know, or we can dig into this and actually give them something of substance, you know, because it's not the fans' fault that this information got leaked. You know, they're just excited that it's out. We're getting talked about, so it's good publicity. We shouldn't attack the fans for being excited about a game that they love, you know, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. You know, they're attacking anybody and everybody who is talking about the game or showing clips or this and that. Yeah. When I think that what they should have done is just been like, you know what, you're right. Here's a little bit of content of what we've been working on. Wait, you know? And I feel like everybody would have been like, oh my God, that's awesome. And then hype would have been, like soared through the roof with it.
I think their mistake was they kept it quiet, which is fine. I get it. Marketing, yeah. I totally understand why, coming from what I do. But once the game releases, the PC files are now getting ripped through. The code's there. You've now deciphered. I can now literally go on the game right now. And anybody out there, if you're listening, you can do this. Go into private match, TDM, vacant, and Codcaster mode. And then you can go up and fly the whole map. It's there. You don't lay that out without a plan, right? At that point, you need to make recognition that something's coming.
Yeah.
And then you probably avoid half of what you're fighting right now.
Yeah.
And you're still building the excitement. Right now, you got people up until, I would say, 2 weeks ago that was still like, is BR even coming? Yeah. Right? Is it even going to come? I think, oh, it's BS. It's not coming. It's going to be next year, a different game. And until they put that little slit up there on the screen, there was a lot of people that still didn't believe it, even with that.
Yeah. And I just think that like we've gotten like this hype and then this like fall and then this hype and this fall because there's been leaks that have been coming out for a while now with no response. The game came out. Yeah, with no response to Activision or from Activision. And like for me personally, I disconnected myself from it. I'm like, if it happens, great. If not, whatever. I'm over getting like my hopes up for it.
So I'm so analytical in what I do that like I bought into it's coming just by reading the signs.
Yeah.
And so when the game came out, I bought into, okay, the ground war maps and Spec Ops were going to be the BR. So I was like, I'm just going to play ground war, go do my own thing, and just get ready for the BR. Little I know it was going to be March, but
are the ground war maps in it? Do you know? Or
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure like if they take sections out or like parts of it like you can't access in the BR.
Yeah.
But literally when you fly out and you look,
you see all the maps.
You see 100% port terminal. Everybody knows that's there. District, farmland, Corey's out in the back. What's the other one? Anaya Palace isn't on there because I don't think Anaya Palace was ever a ground war map. It was a 10v10 that was just made wrong.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, I haven't played much of ground war in general, so I don't know the maps. So I'm actually going to be kind of excited to be able to play those when the Battle Royale comes out because it's going to be fresh for me. You know, I'm not trying to go in as like the master and like be this and that and like, you know, like
you won't be able to shoot like, well, I take it back. You'll be able to shoot within a certain range, probably better with the snipers, but you won't have like a full cross map.
Yeah.
Shot.
There's no way in
because
hell. It's too big.
So much bullet drop. It's it's way too big. I mean, even on the map, like in the mini ground war maps, which are probably like one of like 15 sections, right?
Yeah.
Most snipers have bullet drop just to go across map. The only one besides that is HDR.
Yeah.
And it's very little bullet drop. Yeah. But you can tell at range, it's going to be a different game. And just I say this the other day, imagine the first time you go out there and you see, you know, scope glint's in the game now. And you see everybody up on those hills, like in the BR, 200 people, and they got snipers, and you just see all this scope glint.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to shit myself the first time I see that.
I forgot about that, man. That is gonna be a thing that we have to deal with now.
Because they're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna look at the hills, mountains, and you're just gonna see this
Ding,
glint.
ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
Or like a full squad that's like looted up to the
Yep.
brim, and you just see 4 scopes coming down at you.
It's gonna be weird, man.
Dude, I'm already thinking from like a creative standpoint, some like video editing stuff you can do with that.
We have airstrikes and cluster bombs and stuff. You just call it in, so it's gonna be a lot of give and take.
Yeah, the thing is, that's where I get kind of concerned a little bit, is with those like airstrikes and things like that. With the plunder, I know that there's going to be smart people in Activision, but Activision's done some stupid things in the past.
Oh, that's broke. This game's broke.
So yeah, I'm trying to keep mind my P's and Q's, but I just hope that it's not a flawed system. You know, that it's not overpowered. I hope that like there's not that randomosity that's put into the game. You know,
I hope you can't call it in final circle. You know, you just get in.
I'm sure you want to be able to.
With like cluster strikes, and you're just like, okay, we got this. Yeah, just mini map it out, right? And if you haven't thought of that, I have. You know, think about it.
No, I have too.
Little strategy.
But even like from a sniping standpoint, you know, like there's a sniper holding a position down up on the hill.
Oh,
you know?
Perfect.
I don't think like it would suck for me. Like I'm killing all these guys. I got like 10 kills, and the next thing you know, like a little like predator missile just gone off the map. I'm like, come on, man. Like, what skill is that? You know?
So I think they've limited it. The ones I've seen so far is you can do like, so whenever you're in there and you're picking your loadout, you can do specialist bonus, which means you can pick 6 perks, right? And if you get your 8 kills, it actually tells you these do not apply in Warzone, so you know not to take those. The kill streaks I've seen are UAV, precision, cluster, and then shield turret.
What's
cluster?
What's the cluster?
It's where you do the little laser and it drops the little bombs on top of it. Mortar shells. Basically. Okay.
And then the airstrike is obviously, we all know what that is, since
so it's like it's not like you can call in a AC-130 and just go to town.
Thank God. Although that would be fun as the user, but it would destroy the game. It would suck for everyone else.
Now, if they did something cool like I guess, was it Battlefield? I don't really play Battlefield, but where if the cluster strike actually brought down part of the building too.
Oh yeah, that's always been like a Battlefield thing where like I don't know exactly what you call that, but the deterioration of the buildings. Yeah. One thing with this battle royale, man, that I'm just so excited about, but also concerned on, that makes me a little nervous, is that plunder system. You know, I just don't want people going into the game and being able to like call in an airstrike straight out the gate.
Here's what I'm concerned about. Do you remember Red Dead Redemption? The second one that came out?
I never played the second one, but I know of it, yeah.
I never played the first one. Blackout came out, and that was my first experience to BR. Before that, I was like an OBJ player, hardcore. Blackout changed everything. And so for that little window in between for the beta and the release, I went and downloaded the Red Dead. Within the first week, I could have unlimited amount of money in that game.
Yeah.
That's how broke that game was right off the jump. So if you do that in Modern Warfare where they can glitch it and just get all this plunder, think about all the crap they can buy.
They could do wipes with it though, kind of like how Tarkov has wipes. You know,
I haven't played, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, Tarkov, like it depends on like when they have like a big update where they want to put in like mid-tiered like new items, you know. But because the game's been out or the wipe hasn't been cleaned since like 6 months ago, everybody's already well past that. So there's no way to really test if that armor performs well, you know. So they'll do a whole system wipe. So they'll put everybody back to 0. Like level 0, like base loot again, and then everybody has to work their way back up. Kind of like seasons, you know. I would like it if, yes, there was an like economy to the game, but like season 1 of, let's say, Battle Royale or Warzone, you play through and it's like 2 months worth of content, and then season 2 hits, there's new stuff. And
can you imagine having a weapon grind again?
Dude, I would love. Well, like you would keep like your weapon like camos and things like that, I would imagine. But like all of your stats, not necessarily stats, your stats would stay the same, but like all of your plunder, You know, like if let's say you saved up a bunch of money and like every game you can go in with an airstrike and this and that, like you then get kind of reset on that.
Well, I mean, you
would
kind of
like
did that like most of the world, or I mean, it's any prestige level really, if you think about
yeah,
it. You know,
exactly.
prestige,
It's just resetting.
resets. Yeah.
You know, but I don't want it to where like, I mean, it'd be cool for us, you know, as content creators who play the game a lot for the first couple months to have all this money and be like, ha ha, ha, you know. But then eventually everybody's gonna get to that point, and then everybody's gonna have unlimited resources, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna kind of suck. But
oh man, I didn't play BO4's multiplayer after the beta. I went straight blackout, and then halfway through, I got kind of burnt out on blackout. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go play some multiplayer, get some clips. Everybody had the dragon breath or whatever, dragon choke or whatever it was on the shotgun. So I was running around with a 2-pump MOG, and they all had 1 pumps, and I was like, okay, this game sucks.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah,
I don't want to even try to level up to get to that.
I played heavy into the beta. Like I did a 24-hour, my first and only 24-hour stream that I legitimately did was on the blackout beta. It was great. I tried to go for 24 wins in 24 hours.
Wow.
And I got like, I think 18. It was good. It was a good run. I think I could do 24 now.
Now, yeah.
Maybe not now because it's there's sweats all over the place.
Yeah.
But it was, I loved it, and then I went away from it. The game released. I didn't even get the game till a month after it came out because I had a girlfriend at the time. Like we were just like, oh, you know, I'm not. It sucked. I was stupid, bro. And so I didn't. And then I went into.
Do you think your friends too? Do
what?
your friends get on? Do you like stop hanging out with your friends and all that other stuff?
I don't really have friends in real life, to be honest. I've got a couple. You know, like I've got like my boy Eli and things like that.
That's your friends then.
Well, I just traveled around a lot as a kid, so I never have been in one place for too long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember like I didn't get the game until a month after, and then I went to multiplayer first because I just wanted to like see it out, and I enjoyed it. I definitely did, but then I went to like Black, and I was like, dude, what have I been doing? Like, why am I not playing this game? And then I went deep into it, so I didn't get into the game until about 3 months after the release, probably though. So it was rough. I absolutely love that game though, man. But like Blackout, I think is always gonna hold a special place, like in my heart, you know.
Yeah.
Even though
it was well done.
It was annoying at times, you know, but it is what it is. For what it was, I think it was what the gaming like world needed.
Yeah, I'm curious to see this Warzone in 2 weeks if it drops like it says it's going to.
I just hope it builds on top of like Blackout. Like they learn from Blackout's mistakes, you know, and they build upon it. And then this is the Call of Duty Battle Royale that the world will like embrace, you know?
Yeah. It's free to play, so it's going to be interesting.
And I hope it's like cross compatible, you know. I would love to see like it across the board because I feel like that's something that would have to be put in or integrated in order for it to compete. So like PlayStation and PS or PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players can all play together.
Oh, it's definitely cross. Yeah. That's the only way to get 200. It's the same reason for Ground War. They can't get enough in their lobbies to maintain that size.
Yeah.
Without it.
So like I putting all that in and then putting like an economy system in it, that's something that other battle royales don't have right now. You know, and that's what would differentiate it. That and like the COD mechanics and just the play style has always been so smooth.
That's the COD mechanics what makes it.
Yeah.
Like I like battle royale, but like I don't like Fortnite. I'm not a builder.
Or PUBG.
Or PUBG. It's too slow in my opinion. I like the speed of COD. I mean, it's just what it is.
Well, let's go into that, man. You've been grinding Modern Warfare heavy. You have over 100 different nukes.
What is it? 128 as of last night.
That's insane. How many do you get like a day? What's your like? You probably have like a quote.
If I don't get one a day, at least one a day is like my minimum.
Yeah.
The most I've gotten in a day is 8.
Yeah.
But I also choked like 4 that day, so that was really annoying.
Oof.
But that day was like I had 3 back to back. I had a double nuke that day. It was probably the best day of Modern Warfare that I've had.
What's the most nukes you've gotten in a day?
That day, 8.
That day, 8.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. Dang, man. What's your strategy to get nukes?
It depends on maps. I generally play by myself because I don't have other people on at the same time.
Okay.
So I can't really rely on my team. Hang on a second. My computer just.
All right, good.
What just,
all right, my bad,
sorry
man.
about that. Oh, no worries, man. It's my fault. Like my computer has security stuff built into it, so after a certain amount of time, if I don't touch it,
I got
it
you.
goes to lock screens.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just putting a timestamp on this. But dude, I legitimately like do not suggest waking up and drinking energy drink on an empty stomach.
No, dude, it hurts. It hurts.
Like
It hurts.
I went to the bathroom before we did the podcast because I could feel
Yeah.
it, and I was like, "Ooh!" And then I just went and like I painted the porcelain.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not good.
no, man.
Oh
I have
man.
I have my medical card, and if I don't eat when I do a morning sativa, it tears my stomach up. And
Yeah.
so it's
Ugh.
like I gotta within an hour I gotta eat. I'm in trouble.
Right? It's rough, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, am I gonna make it? This isn't good. But man, that's funny. So 8 nukes in one day, dude. What's that experience like? Were you just kind of like in a flow state, or what's going
Yeah, it
on
was one of those
there?
days where it was just right lobbies, right energy,
Yeah, your
kind of right
shot
flow.
was just on. Everything was hitting.
Just everything was good that day. You know,
Yeah.
you have your bad days, you have your good days you get on, you're like, man, I'm just getting dumped on right now.
Yeah.
And there's days you're just, I can't miss. And that was one of those days. I mean, it
Dude.
was a 72 gun streak. I only died because it was like a random grenade I walked on. It wasn't like anything crazy. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm like laughing halfway through it. Like, I'm like, do I call it in? I'm still dumping on these guys. What do I do?
Right? You're literally just like a little kid on Christmas,
Yeah,
you
it's,
know?
you don't know what to do. It's one of those moments. But
Yeah, I had
I mean,
one of those moments recently. Not a like a 25 kill game or anything like that, but 2 days ago I got a triple collateral on blackout
that's
in a
impressive.
car. In a car, like moving car. I
I've
hit.
only done a double. That's impressive.
Yeah, dude, it was
That's
insane.
hard to do too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I had a Koshka, and they were in like a
That's even
Mustang,
tougher.
and it was right outside of like wager houses, you know, in between wagers and the 10 buildings. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Mhm.
They were
Oh,
on
yeah.
like that little line going up, and they were maybe 30 yards out, and I just saw them come up, and I tap one, I tap the other, and then like the third shot comes over, and then, like it lines up, and I go bah, and like I just look, and like you just see like a in the kill feed like a bunch of people just drop. I'm like, what? I was like, did I get a triple kill?
I don't know if I've ever seen a triple collat.
Dude, it was
Not with a bullet.
nasty.
Not with a bullet. I've seen it other
Yeah,
ways.
with like
Right?
a nade or whatnot.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
they're flying the heli and you shoot the heli and then you got 4 of them. But
Yeah, no, this one was like it was just crazy, man. Like I looked and I was like, did I just get 3? And I like ran over real quick and I see 3 body bags. I'm like, oh, that was insane, man. It was like probably one of the sickest clips I hit.
But that's why I stopped playing Blackout though, or Blackout was because in order for me to play the way I play in Modern Warfare,
you had to shift your style.
I had to shift. Like it's massively different. Like I have to slow down. I got to play within buildings and sight lines, versus Blackout. You just run out in the open and
Exactly.
oh, somebody's shooting at me. Okay, I know where they are. Let's go. Right, let's
Yeah.
charge them. You can't really.
Now, with how much time you've put into the new Modern Warfare, you started out early in Ground War, trying to grind for getting prepared for the BR, right? Little did you know it was coming like in March.
Yeah.
What are you kind of expecting out of like streaming that like Modern Warfare like this coming up year, because you put so much time into it? Are you trying to be like the forefront leader on information, just trying to be one of the slayers? What's your game plan?
I only started streaming in I guess around Christmas, and to be honest, it was more of my younger brothers just keep going, hey, people would watch what you're doing, you need to do it, and so I was like, eh. So I had time, I had a couple weeks off for work, and I was like, yeah, I'll just get the set up and we'll just we'll play. So I mean, when people stop by, they generally come back and they're like, oh man, I learned something. Thanks. I got my first nuke. And, that's kind of exciting. And I kind of enjoy that
Sure.
going back to my history of just what I do at work and things. I train a lot. So teaching others is kind of what I enjoy. I'm not going to be swag, right? I can hold my own. I've been in lobbies against them. They're great players. But again, that's what they do, right? They're younger.
Yeah.
That's their life. That's their job. I got a real job. that not say this isn't a real job, but you know, I've got another job.
Well, yeah, you have a job that you're supporting yourself with right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So that this is my secondary job while everybody else is the primary still. So to me, it's just for fun, you know, help people out and just stream it while I'm doing it.
Yeah. So you're looking to grow then, though? Is that
absolutely? Yeah.
I'm sure. Even though this is like fun for you, it's a hobby. You still want to.
It makes the time with it more enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, showing that either A, I've helped somebody else, or B, it makes my life more enjoyable when people come by, stop by, talk, and gives me something to do, right? Instead of just playing by myself sometimes. That's what it is.
Dude, 100%. That's
engagement's more of anything, yeah.
Yeah, and it's one thing to like play video games, and there are streamers that will just like whenever they play, they'll stream, you know, and they're not very active in the chat or this and that. So at that point, are you really streaming, or are you playing video games while having a stream up?
You know? I think that's why people went to back to Blackout, is because it's so hard in the 6v6 world, so to speak, to have an active chat, communicate, and play 6v6 and do well.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on. It's so fast paced. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. Blackout, you can kind of just like run around. Oh, what do you want me to do? Gun, you know, because the BR, you have that flow, that downtime.
It's a great streaming platform. Yeah,
exactly. And so I think right now, most people don't want to watch Ground War. Most people only look for the clips right now. If you're really watching Modern Warfare and you want BR, you're on Blackout right now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping when it comes over, I'll, you know, have a platform to either help Blackout people that are coming over, or you know, teach others. So.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the sniping mechanics work and all the attachments and things like that.
Very different. Yeah. I went over to Blackout for a day, and I thought I had a full auto strife because the rate of fire was so much different. I thought I was shooting laser beams with the guns because I mean there was like no recoil. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's kind of it's definitely different because I'll play 2v2 gunfight and you'll feel it, you know, and you're just
oh my gosh.
Or even just like the zoom in speed, you know, into either the reticle or whatnot. It's so much slower. So it's gonna be definitely more realistic, I would say, the Warzone battle royale compared to the Blackout battle royale. But I like it.
The audio. I mean,
yeah,
Ground War alone's only got what 64, and it's so loud that like you can barely hear your teammates half the time. You have to really balance your headsets.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's not so overpowered whenever you get in.
Bro, you just gotta get a streaming PC, bro.
I know.
Just go through Discord. You're gonna be fine. You can adjust the levels on every like individual person. Let's say Timmy's just being obnoxious and he's too loud. You can just turn him down just a little bit. You know, put him in the corner, tuck him away. You know.
Man, before I hooked it up through the PC or the MacBook or whatever, it was nice because I could eventually change each thing. Now it's like
through like an AV amplifier, right? So it's all put into one.
Yeah, it sucks.
It blows, man. it blows. I'm not even gonna lie. What headset do you use?
I love. So these are still series game decks, but I also have A40s and I've done the A50s. A50s mess with my wireless. So if you got a heavy 5G network in your house, you'll get audio drops. So I'll be playing and all of a sudden I would have no audio and Blackout. And I was like, no, where are those feet?
Right. Dude, that would be the worst. Like going into a game and then like your audio drops. It took me probably about 3 hours to get a win. I had a no audio challenge. It was like a $150 challenge.
That's tough.
Like with no headset, I was like, dude, this sucks.
I had that happen where I was my A50s. They died, and I couldn't get them to sync. It was the second to last circle, so there was only like 4 or 5 of us left.
Nothing you could do.
I had one other teammate, and I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't hear them. He died. So like, I'm just somehow or another I clutched it, but like, there's no way I could probably do that again.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was luck of the draws, all that was.
Yeah. For me, mine was like I just got lucky and I got a bunch of sensor darts, and so I just held on to them for the final circle. And I just like constantly was surveying 360, just hoping a car wouldn't run me over because I got ran over like 8 times that day, you know?
I wasn't prepared, and it was out just past the building, the 10 buildings and turbine for the final circle. So I was just like looking at rocks and everything. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was weird.
Dude, some of my best times have been on Blackout, though. I've met so many cool people, like It's for
But
what
you can lose
Blackout
friends.
was. Oh, you can't. Like,
I lost friends. I lost friends when it first came out. Like, again, like I said, I was a hardcore OBJ player and World of War and all that other stuff. And so whenever this came out and people are running around and acting like idiots, I'm like, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, right. No, I like to have fun, but like also like I think there's times and places for it, you know? Like if you're always having fun and not taking the game serious at all, then that gets boring real quick, you know? Because there's nothing more fun than dropping 25 kills in like a duos match and everyone's just like, dude, how'd you do that? You know? And you're just like, I'm just that good. You know, and you get like this little like puffed out chest effect, and it's awesome. You know, and there's nothing like hitting your shots with like a paladin. You know, from a distance.
That's why I like BR, because you leave the match knowing you were the best.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the score was or how many kills you got, in the end, you played it the best.
Yeah. You played the objective.
That match.
Yeah. And it's just like you being an objective player. You know, you go for that dub, you go for that win. That's what counts. And I feel like that's what the Modern Warzone is what it's called, is going to be very intent on, is focusing in on strategy, you know, and playing it a little bit slower and playing it more methodically.
You got to still play aggressive though. Your running gun is in your engagements. And so you asked earlier and I didn't answer, how do I nuke most of the time? And because I play alone, I generally play with things like Claymores and Bettys for defense or secondary kills. But generally, it's an alert system, right? If I get a kill, great, but it's buying me a few seconds to stop what I'm doing and cover my ass. So that's one thing I tell people. But think about it. Most of these people are not set up for either A, close quarters, or B, long range at the same time. Most of them are either A, run around with a sniper rifle. I'm just talking about ground war. Just keep that in mind.
And a pistol,
Ground war and a pistol, right? Okay. That's all right. Most of them can't use that pistol at close range. Right. Not under extreme situations. Or they've got an M4, so they're not going to be that great at really, really close range against like an MP5 or something, or a shotgun. Vice versa, they run around with an MP5 or a shotgun. They're probably running around with a pistol or overkill, and they're missing something else, right? And so I generally use that against them. I try to engage long, and then I have something close range that is like devastating close. Before I ran Snake Shot, so I run Snake Shot a lot. But now since they nerfed it, if I'm going for the nuke, which was the question, I run Specialist. And if that's the case, then I'm going to use the overkill slot and run a second gun. And just for the fact that I'm not getting kill streaks, if I'm trying to get all perks and I don't use it, then I'm wasting the slot, right? And that's how I view that. But no, now that they've done akimbos, I generally don't run overkill. I run the akimbo stuff because they're pretty devastating up close.
They just added the akimbos
within the last couple weeks, I think. Yeah.
Really? Man,
so up close,
that's crazy.
So now, you know, up close, you can do some devastating work on people, and generally you can take their guns and switch it out. But
I feel like that's, dude, to put akimbos this late into the into the life cycle is kind of odd. I feel like that would be kind of like a game changer.
Yeah, it changed. Well, not only that, they moved the perks over. So like overkill, you used to be able to do ghost and overkill. So I would run actually overkill and restock, so that I could have two guns, and I was constantly getting defense with the Bettys and Claymores. They now put those on the same slot, so you can't do that. So now you got to pick or choose. Do you want overkill or do you want restock? So if I run overkill, you got tune up so that you can generate more boxes.
Yeah.
And do the same thing.
Do you remember the good old days when like World at War would release or COD 4 and they'd just be like, here you go. And
that's a new map.
And that's it. Yeah. You know, that's it. It's just like, deal with it. You know, like, sorry.
Next year.
You know, you don't like Claymores? Sorry. You know, like.
New tube.
Right. New tube with one-man army.
Yeah, they'd love to do that one-man army noob tube. I used to have one 30 seconds or 34 seconds, I think it was.
Oh, and a nuke in 34 seconds?
Yeah, on
that Wasteland map. Is that what it was?
Hang on a second.
Super open map. No, you're good.
There it goes. I keep forgetting to touch my computer and keeping it from locking out.
Yeah, you're good.
What's that map where you got the little bunker right in the middle?
I think it's Wasteland.
Yeah, you just literally go A flag, C flag, boom,
Yeah, it's
boom,
all
drop them,
open, but
7.
the
Yeah.
only thing was that little bunker down
You
below.
drop literally 2 or 3 new tubes, you got your VTOL,
Yeah.
Harry, just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, and then you once you get the AC 130 or the chopper gunner, it's GG. And I love that the actual kill streaks
7,
counted
11,
towards.
25. Yeah, it's simple.
Dude, God, those were the days, man.
Yeah, that was the best game. M16 of the Hollow, and that's what I talked about when the UMP came out. They were like, everyone's excited. I said, I guarantee it's gonna suck. Because think about it, everybody wanted the M16 with the Hollow from MW2. I ran that gun. It was a 1 burst headshot. It was beautiful. And garbage when it got into Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Then you look at the what was the
mechanics have all changed. So it's not going to be the same. Yeah, the G36C.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash. Now you got the UMP. Sucks.
Yeah.
So all the nostalgic weapons just.
You get the feel of the weapon, but it doesn't shoot like it did back in the day. Because the mechanics are different. There's so many different guns that do different things inside of the game now. Whereas back then, everybody only rocked maybe 5 weapons. 5 weapons total across all genres of the weapons. So it's just like now.
Akimbo 1887s.
Oh, dude, I love those. I think they ended up patching that. They patched that.
They late.
They had to patch that though. That was too overpowered, man.
You had that with the was it the same year when they had like the super melee jump, like the knife kill where you like
what did they call it? Commando? Was it Commando?
Yes, the Commando.
Yeah, the Commando Pro. God, dude, with you had the akimbo pistols, because like everybody would think that like you would do like the tack knife. Tack knife wasn't that great. It was the akimbo pistols where you could just like launch for days, man.
Yeah, you jumped across the map.
Yeah, and the knife would land quicker with the akimbos. It was like a weird not glitch, but like just
I think that was the first game I figured out about glitches, because people would start a favela. They would start going up the hill or the side buildings, and then they'd get on top of the map.
Yeah, and then just shoot down. Mine was COD 4 Overgrown. Do you remember Overgrown? There's a little spot in the middle of the map where if you went into the dirt mound, and you started crouching, and then you jump and crouch and jump and crouch and jump and crouch, you'd eventually be able to get in. Do you know that spot?
I remember it now. First I was trying to remember it, but I remember the motion.
Exactly.
I was like, oh yeah, I did that 2 times.
And I remember getting, again, this was 10-year-old Slevtek, so don't judge me, but I would get in, and then I'd have the M40 with 40 shots, and I'd get 30 kills with it. I'd be like, yeah.
It's so good.
And then you have somebody run up to you and try and get into the glitch to kill you. Yeah. And then you just have to creep up a little bit, steal their scavenger pack, and then go back.
But you know how pissed off I get when it happens now? We laugh about it right now.
100%.
But it happens so much in Modern Warfare that I'm just like, oh, this dude's under the map again.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's a shitty thing to do, 100%. Those, I'm gonna burn in hell for it, but it was fun when I was a kid, But if you're a grown man doing it now, you're a piece of shit.
I mean, it's hey, I'm gonna be honest. You wanna talk about how I nuke Port, Dom B, Ground War with the 725 and Claymores? Literally, they just come like cattle. It's one after another.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be dumb enough to do it, I'm going to be smart enough to sit there and just collect them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I respect that, man.
But you know what? I'm like, you own that building? I'm going to own 2nd and 3rd floor, though. You ain't getting up there.
Yeah. Dude, I love it. So do you play any other games right now, or are you solely just whenever you get on, it's Call of Duty?
I don't really have the time, unfortunately. So it's my heart's in the COD, and so I've tried other ones just to kind of venture out, like Apex and stuff, but it's just not the same. I always come back.
Apex moves it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Just the mechanics felt so different from COD. I felt
good idea.
I felt if they had the COD movement, it would have been great. But I feel when I move, it was a little laggy. It would lag, and then I would go, and it was kind of just clunky, but still smooth. If that makes sense. Yeah. It just wasn't for me. I was excited for it. It just didn't pan out.
And I'm just not a big third person, so Fortnite doesn't.
I'm just not a carpenter by trade, so I'm not gonna.
I'll let people with better minds that can multitask do that.
It's not even that. It's just like now they've integrated it to where like you will get thrown in with PC players no matter what. They've just kind of meshed everything together. And if you play on the controller, you're at a severe disadvantage, you know? And it's just...
See, I don't feel it, though, as much on COD.
Yeah, just because there's no
I'm always in
mixed
logics because I'm in ground war. I'm always cross-enabled, but I don't feel it as much.
Yeah.
But I can tell when somebody's on it because they'll do this move, and I'll go, okay, wait a second.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
But if you go up against a pro that's on a PC versus a pro that's on a PlayStation, the PC players got the advantage.
Except for in close quarters.
You think so?
I think so. I think at long engagements, things like that, and if it comes down to marksmanship, you're not going to beat a PC player. They're too quick. They can move it. But at close range, sometimes they're too quick for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Yeah. And they overshoot.
But dude, Shroud, you get Shroud on this game.
That's
an anomaly. But like for real though, like can you imagine going up against Shroud? I'm just like, dude, I would love to be able to kill Shroud and like go toe to toe. But
so, like I watched Green Boy go against Marksman in a ground war, and he dumped all over him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I watched Marksman, in a 6v6 just dump all over other people. So I mean, I've seen everybody's got good days and bad days.
Yeah, but dude, I don't think Shroud has a bad day. Let's be honest.
That's like saying, yeah, I'm gonna go and one up Scump tomorrow on the sticks. That's just not gonna happen,
dude. Right? Oh man. So
or Simp or whoever else.
What are you most excited about for this battle royale? Like, what feature or what's got you most hyped about it? Because you play Modern Warfare,
I'm not looking forward to the vehicles. I think the vehicles suck in this one compared to Blackout vehicles. Yeah. I think Blackout vehicles move better. I don't know. It just feels better. But the size of the map is crazy.
Do you think it's going to be vehicle intensive with the size of the map?
I think you're going to have no choice.
You're going to have to find a vehicle.
Yeah. Just because if you play on the outside and you have to push the other side, there's literally no way to run it. Unless it's a low-ass circle, which I doubt it. I think it's going to be like, is it PUBG or whatever that has vehicles that you have to, or is it H1Z1?
That you have to what?
To use vehicles to kind of get around a lot.
I think that was more H1Z. But also PUBG had that feature where like if you spawned and then, or if you landed and then the circle was on the opposite side of the map, there was no way in hell you were making it without a vehicle. So I think both of them had that feature a little bit, which I liked. I didn't mind, just as long as the health of the vehicle is significantly load.
Yeah, just grab the cargo truck. That's all I'm gonna tell people. It's like a mini tank. That thing you have to like feed around through the window. That's like this big.
Yeah.
And if you're just not gonna just get a lucky shot all the time. You have to actually hit your shot.
But I just want I want it to where I can blow that up quick. Like that's what needs to happen. If you have the vehicles that are too overpowered and you can run people over, like that just spells like a disaster. That happened in PUBG, happened in Blackout, that's happened in everything where people just run around in ground war.
You get that truck and you can easily get a good little 6th Street going just driving around the truck. That's like a mini tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
But stay away from the ATV because you're gonna get shot off pretty quick,
dude. Right? But that thing's quick. Like it's got some like maneuverability. It's nice until it's not.
Everybody drives the SUV backwards.
Really?
Yeah, because it's harder to shoot the driver. But when you drive by, here's the problem. Now you can shoot the driver, so it's kind of.
Do you still get some speed going in reverse?
You get pretty good speed, yeah.
Just imagine.
but somebody if you see a pro ground war player, most of them are going backwards at the SUV. The ones who are driving head first, I'm like, I'm gonna snipe that dude.
That looks like the dude driving backward looks like he's like riding the short bus, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I saw it first from Trinity GX. You know who that is? Yeah. So he was doing the grind for his like camos, and he goes like he played District Lock, so he would go from side of the map to side of the map. And when he'd get at his SUV, he would drive it backwards. And so I started doing it, and I started looking at other people, what other people are doing. I'm like, okay.
Oh, this makes sense. It's still goofy as hell,
though.
It worked. Right? I mean, that's something that I can pretty certainly say that like the developers were not expecting people to do.
Drive back.
Right? They're like, dude, we're getting shot from the front, so we're just gonna go in reverse.
Pretty much. Run them over.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, that's been about an hour, bro. Like, we practically talked about like Modern Warfare the whole time. I liked it though. That was a blast, man. Thanks for coming out, bro. Glad we could finally get you on. I know we were trying to schedule and everything for a while in a fat minute, but that McGregor fight, dude. That McGregor fight was nasty,
dude. Yeah.
Bro.
Did you watch the Tyson Fury fight?
I saw the highlights. They threw in the towel, but like, damn.
Man, they saying he didn't rupture his eardrum, but if he didn't rupture his eardrum, he was wobbling third. But yeah, that McGregor fight, I had never seen anybody throw a shoulder like that. I mean,
dude,
that was
nobody's done it like that.
My wife was half asleep and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to sleep," and I was like, as soon as it happened, I went, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" I was like. She goes, "Well," I said, "He's kicking the shit out of him." And then he went to drop kick him with the leg, and I went, "Oh shit!"
Oh man!
I mean, it was.
And then the hammer fist came out. I was like, "Oh, dude, it's
like,
game over, man."
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and Cerrone's like the most seasoned guy. He has the most submissions or knockouts in the UFC history.
He was like, "Man, I've never seen that before, but hats off."
Because legitimately, he like came
Broke
in at him, throw it, and well, the first punch he threw, he missed, and then leaned in with the knee, you know, and then that dazed him, and then he just like grabbed him, clenched him, and then like shoulder checked him, like
he's like, "Wait, that worked." He's like, "Wait, that worked." He's like, "Okay, hold on."
Bam!
Angle here, yeah.
But the thing is, like the torque you have to put to like bring it over and then down. To be able to like connect like your collarbone with the nose, God.
Well, that's why he was like getting. That's why he was getting lower to like come up.
Yeah, it was like bam. I was like, oh, dude, it was beautiful.
Never seen
it
it before
I watched it too. Like I watched it with like my mom and her husband, and we were.
I felt
like,
like afterwards. I was like, well, that was over quick. I wonder if he's bad.
Dude, we looked at. We were just like, my mom was just like, my mom's super animated. She's like, oh shit, he just got knocked the fuck out. I was just like, yeah, mom, whoop his ass.
That was
like
funny.
we get like real primal for whatever reason. We watch
He's like,
UFC.
and he was like, I'm just gonna get drunk. It's like I got a whole thing, proper 12.
Dude, right? Oh yeah, he plugged it. That dude's set for life.
Dude, I'm sorry though. Tyson Fury probably had a better time on Vegas. That dude's just weird. He's just crazy.
He's a
weird.
gypsy, bro.
Dude,
gypsies party.
I've never seen an entire arena sing American Pie after a boxing match. I mean, that was pretty crazy.
Have you seen his like vests and everything that he wears?
Oh yeah, he wore like a tie. He has like a tie
and with like no shirt on. He's got like this like
man boobs all hanging out.
Yeah, but dude can. It reminds me of Snatch. You know when? What's his name?
You like Dags? Dags?
Yeah. What Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
You know when Brad Pitt was fighting, you know, and like everybody underestimated him, but knocked him out. It was
what was his name? His name was Mickey.
Mickey, yeah, that's what it was. One Punch Mickey.
Mickey O'Neil.
I love it, man. I love the accent too. You know, that's just fun. Yeah. But dude, thanks for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it. What's your stream schedule like?
Most of the time during the day, during the work day, you'll find me around lunchtime.
Okay.
Generally move. I try to get 2 hours a day here and there throughout the day.
Gotcha.
And then in the evenings, I'm almost every day from like 3 or 4 Central to like 6 or 7 Central, and then all day on the weekends.
Okay, dude, that's what's up. I respect the grind, man. I mean, 1 nuke a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I love it, bro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We greatly appreciate it. If you've gotten this point into the podcast, make sure to go show Seasoned some love. It's still early in the morning, man. I'm waking up. Go show my boy Seasoned some love. Homeboy is grinding Modern Warfare like nobody's business. You've heard it here. He's got 120 what nukes now?
28.
28 nukes. That is ridiculous. His name is Nicholas. He's got mad gummy money, and it is deliciousness. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Have a good one.
Take care.